Hello and welcome to another exciting show across Louisiana. My name is Steve Sawyer, the host of the show. We've got a great show for you today. Our first guest is going to be JoAnne Kostik, who is with the Home Builders Association of Greater New Orleans, and she's going to be talking about an upcoming event that benefits Camp Challenge. Todd Murphy, who's the president of the Jefferson Chamber, is going to be with us today, and Todd's going to be telling us about the upcoming Jefferson Chamber Gala. And then Jim Mulvihill, who is with the fairgrounds, is going to be talking about the Louisiana Derby, a very exciting horse race that's coming up here in New Orleans, and it's a stepping stone to the Kentucky Derby, so you'll want to hear about that. And then Don Mueller is going to be talking about Children's Hospital, and the New Orleans Zephyrs are playing the Miami Marlins in a game, and a lot of the proceeds will go to benefit Children's Hospital. We've got a great show today, a lot of good guests. Thank you so much for being here. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Across Louisiana, and I'm very happy to have as our guest JoAnne Kostik, who is a board member with the HBA of Greater New Orleans. JoAnne, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And we were talking before we went on the air, so to speak, about the HBA crawfish boil, and I think Couse has now been involved in that for 21 years. You came on, I believe, about 10 years ago, you said, and I've got to be honest with you, I did not realize it until we sat here and talked what the crawfish boil benefits, and it benefits an organization called Camp Challenge, I believe?
Yes, it does.
Could you speak to that?
Camp Challenge was a fun group we decided to support. It is a camp for children with cancer, and all the children get to go to camp, experience a camp experience every year. All their siblings get to go too. It is a free camp. None of the children pay for this camp. It's manned strictly by volunteers. Doctors and nurses take off a week to do the camp, as well as other volunteers. The children have a great time. It's open to all children in Louisiana, and they're a really, really good group to support, and we love it.
And how do you, let's say you want to become a member of the camp, how do you become a member, and also how would you know about volunteering?
You need to call Camp Challenge. They're listed in the telephone book, and unfortunately I don't know their telephone number.
We'll get that
and they will tell you exactly what you need to do to either participate in camp or to volunteer.
Now the crawfish boil is going to be when?
The crawfish boil is going to be April 5th at Ferguson Enterprises on North LaBar Road in their warehouse. That's a Friday night, and we'll have plenty of crawfish and beer and adult snowballs and children's snowballs and games for the kids. This year we're allowing children to come. And
that's a first.
It's a first for us in all the years we've been doing this.
Yep.
And it's going to be a really fun time. We have our second annual crawfish eating contest. You pay $25 to be in the crawfish eating contest. All the proceeds from that go to Camp Challenge. Last year we were able to send 4 children to camp.
That's incredible.
Which was great, because it's $750 a child to go to camp. And they take them off to somewhere.
And thanks to Ferguson's, because you were mentioning that they actually donate the facility for free.
They sure do. Ferguson donates the facility to us. We have a lot of members and HBA non-members even who become sponsors. They sponsor the event. At the event they get reserved seating and advertisement and that kind of stuff. And then we have just tickets at $25 a piece. And
over the years, you've always had a great MC, giving away great door prizes.
Oh, yes, we've had a great MC. His name's Steve Sawyer from Cox Communications. Everybody loves it. And we've just had a wonderful time. We have music, you know, if anybody wants to dance.
Yeah.
So doors open at 5 o'clock.
And I will tell you, this event is, and I don't think it started out this way, but this event has become traditionally, it sort of kicks off the crawfish season every year. So
it sure does.
It's a wonderful event. Tons of door prizes to give away. So I encourage everybody, if you get a chance, get a ticket, come out, support this, because you are supporting an incredible organization with Camp Challenge. Plus, you can win some great door prizes, eat some good crawfish. And JoAnne, thank you so much for being on the show, talking about that. Best of success. I'll see you at the event.
Thank you.
Look forward to it. The weather, it's really getting nice now, and it's shaping up to be a great race for the Tickfaw 200. It's one of the best races in the country. It happens on May the 2nd through May the 4th. We're going to tell you more about it right now.
Oh, it's just an awesome event. Joey Fontenot invited me to come down. This is my first time to be able to participate in this event. And I'm just blown away. I'm going to tell you, you just would have to see what's going on down here. The boats, the motor homes, the people. It's just an exciting day for Livingston Parish, and the Tickfaw 200 is awesome. It's just awesome. It's an event that, once again, where when everybody comes together, these kind of things happen. But I got to tell you, the praise goes to Joey, because he orchestrated this thing. We're just happy to participate, help in any way we can. But again, you look around and you see all this around us, and it's just an amazing, amazing event for Livingston Parish.
The event's done blossom. We went from 240 hens last year to 300 this year. I mean, that's at $200 a hen. We have raised some money for the community. We got more participants this year than ever before. If you look around the marina, we almost probably got 60 buses stacked in here.
We figure this event's close to a $3 million impact directly to this area. We also share some of that impact with Tangipahoa Parish, which they're involved with some of the marketing of this thing, and of course St. Tammany, Madisonville. They have some restaurants over there and some poker stops there. So boats fueling up. Some of these boats hold about $1,200 worth of fuel, and of course they have to fuel up probably once a day at least. And our hotel rooms, Carter Plantation, has been sold out. Even the state park, Tickfaw State Park, it sees close to a sellout there. And even some places as far as Walker get some of the people to stay there from here.
And it's a great event. It's something that, you know, we try to make sure, number one, we want people to be safe. We want them to have fun. We want them to come and spend some money in Livingston Parish to help us out. And it's the main thing is just coming out here and actually enjoying what Livingston Parish has to offer with the waterways we have. And we have a lot of great restaurants on the waterways and a lot of things that go on out here. And just, you know, really get to see it. And I've had to actually fortunate enough to see it from the air a little bit a while ago, and it's just amazing watching those boats and the people just coming out, the excitement. You can just see it from the air. I mean, everybody's excited about this event, and Joey Fondo just does such a great job and really puts everything he has, his heart, mind, and soul into really doing this event, and it shows every year.
Yeah, we have the Sheriff's Department has supported us, Killian Dive Team has supported us, Tourist Commission Livingston has just stood up. Tangipahoa has stood up also. We got a couple boats all the way from Chicago, some boys from New Jersey. I think the whole state of Texas came. I think they turned the lights off when they left across the state line. Some boys out of Florida, Oklahoma come in strong. I mean, just all over the whole country has really supported Livingston Parish.
It is a group effort. Everybody from LEDC, the Economic Development Chamber, the parish president, of course the Sheriff's Department, Killian Police Department, they all do a great job. And I believe it's because we, once again, going to that South Louisiana tradition, Livingston Parish tradition of showing a good time and making sure everybody's safe, making sure that people would want to come back and spend a few more dollars and a little bit more time with us down the road.
We've always worked real well together, and I'm just excited to have the relationship we have with the other law enforcement, having Tangipahoa Parish over here, and the wildlife and fishery agents and Killian. They've always worked real close with us, and you have to have that in law enforcement. It actually helps the day go by a whole lot safer than what it normally is, having that many boats on the water to try to keep your eye on things.
Well, I'm going to tell you, that is something to see. That really is, brings a, people come from everywhere to that. And boats, you just would have to see them. $500,000, $1 million boats, people just down to earth, as friendly as they can be, driving up in motor homes, bringing these expensive boats right there into Livingston Parish. And Joey does a fantastic job with organizing and making that work. And hats off to him, because he really does a good job. And I'm, you know, once again, glad to be part of that.
It's the people, our people, once again, I mean, they're just great to be around. And you know, you hear the motors running, you look at the water, and you look at all the people moving around out here, and it's, I mean, what can you say? It's absolutely awesome. It's the perfect place to be. It's where you want to be today, I can guarantee you that.
Tickfaw 200, I guarantee you it's a great time. I've been there, I've witnessed it. It's just an unbelievable race. If you get a chance, get out there and see it. And we're very happy to have with us now Mr. Todd Murphy, who is the president of the Jefferson Parish Chamber of Commerce. Todd, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And we were sitting here talking, and I didn't even realize it. Couse is a charter member of the chamber. And I remember back when I joined the company in 1990, I think we were an organization of about maybe 20 or 30 people. And look how you've grown today.
We have grown. In 16 years, we have grown to over 800 members.
Wow.
And of course, very active in the community and in business initiatives and quality of life initiatives.
Now, do you go by Jefferson Parish Chamber or just Jefferson Chamber?
Jefferson Chamber of Commerce. Okay. But we represent the entire parish, both East Bank and the West Bank.
Okay, right. Because I remember when we started, there was a West Bank Chamber at the time.
That's correct, and we all got on the same page and combined into one.
Good deal. Now, you've got something coming up, I believe, this weekend, a healthcare reform conference.
Correct, we do. Healthcare reform is coming. It is something that businesses, both small and large, really need to take count of. When this comes into play in 2014, there's a lot of requirements for employers, a lot of stipulations that employers need to take note of and really act on now and not wait until 2014. So we've put together a healthcare reform series of really what this means to your business and how to survive the new Obamacare going forward. We have opening sessions that are going to be led by experts and executives from People's Healthcare and Blue Cross, Carr, Riggs and Ingram, and Adams and Reese, just to name a few. And then after those opening sessions, we're going to have what we're calling breakout sessions that'll be at later dates. And those breakout sessions are going to deal with the number of employees you have, for example. So we'll have a session for companies that have 50 or less employees, for example. And then maybe we'll have some as well for particular industries.
Now, are you doing an East Bank and a West Bank
East
session?
Bank and West Bank. The East Bank is this Thursday, March 21st, and the West Bank will be April the 2nd.
Okay. And now, before we get away real quick, you've got one of your biggest events, your gala,
Right,
inaugural gala is coming up.
We're celebrating 16 years, and so we want to thank our charter members that started the chamber 16 years ago. We're having a gala on April the 5th, and it is going to be at the Arbor Room at City Park. It's just a big celebration.
Oh, that's great.
And should be a lot of fun with really the leadership of Jefferson Parish being there. All of your business leaders and elected officials likely will be there.
Congratulations, Todd, on all the success of the chamber. You guys just do a phenomenal job. I'm very proud that Couse is a member, and we will continue to be a member, and people like you who make the chamber worthwhile. So thank you for all your hard work.
Thank you.
It
We
definitely
appreciate
pays
your help.
off. Stay with us. We'll be right back. And welcome back. And with us today, I'm very pleased to have Jill Mulvihill, who is with the Fairgrounds Race Course and Slots. We've got to get the slots in there, right?
Absolutely. It's an important part of our business.
I bet it is now. How has technology changed what you guys are doing? Because don't you have a lot of little off-track betting around town? I've seen some stuff over by the Palace Theater.
We do. We just opened our newest OTB a couple weeks ago in West Wego, so we're up to 11 off-track betting parlors right now.
In the New Orleans area?
In the New Orleans area, 10 of which have video poker. So yes, our business has changed drastically in the past few decades. It's not just racing, but it's video poker and slot machines at the fairgrounds too.
Wow, congratulations. You got some big events coming up that I know you want to tell us about. The Louisiana Derby Day, I believe, is coming up.
We do, it's our 100th Louisiana Derby on March 30th, so a giant milestone for the race, which is the most important horse race that happens in the South every year, a key stepping stone to the Kentucky Derby for these 3-year-old horses. So some very prominent names that will be amongst the top horses nationally later in the year. But it's also a big day for us because we're presenting our first infield festival to go along with this. So we're going to open up the inside of the racetrack, the grassy area in the middle, and we're going to have a couple concerts out there. Cowboy Mouth will be there and Flow Tribe. And that'll be open all afternoon with the largest food truck gathering that's ever happened in New Orleans, happening simultaneously. So we're trying to create more of an event out of the Louisiana Derby, not just from a sports side, but from a social event side, and really upping the entertainment factor. So we figured that with this milestone 100th Derby this year, this was the time to try and ramp it up and make it bigger and better than ever before.
Do you think people here in the New Orleans area realize how big the Louisiana Derby is?
Well, it's my job to make sure that they do, so I'm trying all the time. I don't think they totally grasp that yet. You know, we have our regulars, and we always get a big crowd on Louisiana Derby Day. But the Kentucky Derby is the biggest horse race in the world.
Absolutely.
150,000 people show up for that, and it's broadcast around the world. And the Louisiana Derby is only one step removed from that. So the horses that run in our big race, the top 3 or 4 of them will all go on to the Kentucky Derby 5 weeks later. So they're very close together. It's like the Final Four, you know, and the Louisiana Derby is the semifinals for the big one just a few weeks later.
And I got to be honest, I didn't know that until I just heard you say that now. I had no idea. So what's the purse? I imagine it's a pretty good sized purse.
It is. It's $1 million actually, and it's one of only about a dozen $1 million races run in North America every year outside of the Triple Crown races and the Breeders' Cup races. But this is as big as it gets in horse racing, and we are on the national stage for that one day every year.
No idea. I'm just so happy to hear that, because we're always looking for things to put New Orleans on the market, and here we have one of the biggest races outside the Kentucky Derby taking place right here. Now, so has a horse gone on from the Louisiana Derby to win the Kentucky Derby?
It has happened. It's happened twice before, most recently in 1996. Grindstone pulled off that double, and the trainer of Grindstone, Dwayne Lucas, who's a Hall of Famer, he'll probably have 2 horses in this year's Louisiana Derby. We have a really great field shaping up, and that's important because with this being our 100th one, we want it to be a memorable one. So between the entertainment and this great field that we have coming together for the race, I think it's going to be a historic afternoon for us. Now,
do you think this, with the entertainment, something you'll try again, or is it just for the 100th celebration? Or?
No, hopefully this is the beginning of an annual event. We would like this to be a regular event on the festival calendar for people who get excited about Jazz Fest every year and who get excited about French Quarter Fest. This is just another one to bridge those on the calendar.
That is fantastic. Jim, congratulations on 100 years. Best of success with the event. Stay with us, because we're going to be right back, and we're going to be talking with Don Mueller. Welcome back, and I'm very happy to have as our guest Don Mueller, who is working with Take 5 Oil Change and Seasons Grief and Loss Center. And Don, we were talking before the segment, you've got some exciting things coming up, and I'm not going to give anything away, but you've got something that's going to be happening at the Zephyrs baseball game that may not have ever happened before, so I'll let you talk about that.
Okay. Thank you, Steve, for having us here. And I'd like to say that my involvement is I work with both like you said, the Seasons Grief and Loss Center Children's Program, and also with Take 5 Oil Change. And over the years, Take 5 Oil Change has been getting more and more involved with the community as far as trying to give back, as it were, to various organizations and what have you. And one of our clients that I'm an ad agency too, is of course the Take 5 Oil Change, and we advertise the Zephyrs baseball team. So I went out to the Zephyrs baseball team ownership, and not the ownership, but the management, and I said to him, I said, look, I said, you've got a big game coming up, which is March 30th, and it's going to be between the Miami Marlins and the Zephyrs. And
that alone's a great event.
Well, that's true, and I think it's either the first time ever that they've played a professional team,
right.
And and I don't know who's going to win it or anything, because I mean the AAA type of thing that the Zephyrs have are almost as good,
Absolutely.
But you never know,
Absolutely.
you know. And
Absolutely.
so anyway, it turns out that they elected to go along with a program that we would be the recipients of these two organizations, Children's Hospital and also Seasons Grief and Loss Center, to be able to ask the crowd, and it should be a sellout crowd out there, if they would be willing to, whatever they can afford, to put some money into the basket or the pot. And all of the monies that we might collect, you know, from these people and what have you, will go to benefit these two organizations.
That is great.
Yeah, and I think what's nice about it too, it's all local, and there's, like with the Seasons Grief and Loss Center type program, it's just unbearable how some of these children suffer when the loss of their mom or dad or their brother or sister, you know, pass on. They don't have many people to go to talk about it. And there aren't that many people really trained in being able to talk with their children about, you know, what to say, and that's how so much of it comes along. And then, of course, Children's Hospital, that's always, you know, nip and tuck there too, because you have a child who's maybe going to make it and maybe isn't, and then you've got the whole family that wants to get shored up to be able to try to get something resolved with their own family.
Yeah,
you know.
So Seasons Grief is it a volunteer organization?
No, it's helped considerably, you know, by volunteers in the various fashions and ways that we have our camps and our different type of programs and that sort of thing. But it's a specialized group of people who specialize in grief for children and for adults too, you know, if it's the parents and that sort of thing.
And I can see where you'd really need somebody that's trained in how.
Yeah, because it's a very tricky type situation. Sometimes the child doesn't have any interest in talking to anybody, but that's bad too. You know, you got to kind of get them to come out and express those feelings.
Yeah.
Because if they don't get past that point to where they have to get back into school, back into programs that are the normalcies of their life and what have you, it becomes very difficult for them in the future.
Don, is there a website you can go to learn more about that organization?
I'm sorry that I don't have that. I should have brought that, but
put it on the screen.
But if it is in the yellow pages, and it's Seasons Grief and Loss Center, and you can find it.
Best of success. I mean, what a very worthwhile organization.
It's a good program.
I think that's
it really
awesome.
is.
Thanks so much for sharing that information with us, and thank you for being a part of Across Louisiana, and we'll see you next time.